Hello everyone, this is the showcase of a character called Brigand. This is Rogue plus Hunting Mastery, and it's a glass cannon DPS based around piercing damage, bleeding and poison. As you can see, I have 1000 damage, average damage, plus 1500 damage per second. Now if I if I activate my buffs, it goes up to 2000 average damage, 3.4 thousand damage per second, and 157 attack speed. I will now activate my one more buff. It's mostly giving me some more HP generation. I have 137. And we'll start with the gameplay. We are on Epic because this character is quite, as I said before, glass cannon. So he's rather weak, he can die very easily, so I don't want to show him on Legendary, even though I made it to Legendary Act 3 right now. So I can farm Legendary Vining Growth, but this character is not very effective yet on Legendary. I'm not sure if he will be, maybe if maxed level and better gear, it's possible. I will start with showing you three areas on Epic. We're starting with first boss in the game on Epic, the Centaur. And I'm doing it also to play with one hand and keep the mic in left hand so you get better sound quality. So those two buffs that are activated apply to damage mostly. I will go to details after the gameplay part, but generally they improve damage as you have seen before. And this third buff is improving my poison resistance, which is not really important here, and HP regeneration, which is quite important on every character. Now, as you can see, I destroyed the boss with mostly poison and bleeding. I'm killing all his minions, and we're going just for the chest. Of course, I forgot to press X, which I did now. Nothing good for us, so we are moving to the second area, which will be in Babylon, in Orient. Yes, Orient, Babylon outskirts. I'm going to show you the usual place where I farm. Where we can find some Ichthyan armor. I don't have much spot in the inventory because it's very clogged, but I'm kinda hoping for finding green armor here. So I'm just going to clean them. As you can see, I'm getting hit quite a lot, much more than in Sparta. It's 2 acts later. So I'm getting hit quite a lot. On Legendary it's even worse. I basically have to play with 2 hands. I also put my potions, health potions on right mouse button because I have to sometimes heal rapidly to avoid dying. This is a very glass cannon character and it's a big problem with him. However, he has very strong DPS and also attack speed. Oh, well, basically it's DPS. And it's best played with someone else as a tank because this guy can kill bosses and everything, but he is very bad at taking damage. So you basically have to either kite or use another character. I'm just going to sell this stuff, 80,000 here. If you play on Legendary, you basically get like 200,000 for every item, especially better items. I think it's maybe even every item in the game, so you can easily farm on Legendary just by collecting anything you want and selling it. This is very good to have one character on Legendary, such as this, to just buy items for your other characters and to farm gold. If you just want some specific item from Legendary, want to move it to another character, you can do it with this character because he's basically a merchant who buys and provides all your other characters with money. Well, not directly money, but you can buy items. And we are going to clean this area which I showed in another video. Vining growth, maybe we find some epic vining growth. It would be nice to have some. And as you can see, I'm just hitting everyone with one arrow and they die. It's a bit longer with the tougher guys, tougher enemies. Okay, I'll wait for one. Don't see any big guy. Should be one on the top, because I wanted to show you like 2 more skills, which I wanted to show you in this gameplay part. I will just renew the buff. It lasts for 8 minutes right now, so it's quite nice. We have to renew it, but it lasts for long. Oh, okay, and you see this jungle creep. He's a bit tougher. I'm going to kill those two. Now we can activate one more buff, then debuff the enemy, and now destroy him. This is on cooldowns. Call of the Hunt is a buff that has 3 minutes recharge, and it improves your damage even more. It lasts for like, I don't know even how long. Yeah, 44 seconds. So it lasts for a while, then you can't use it for like 2 minutes. It's not very convenient to just reapply it, but if you need even more DPS, you can use it. I'm not sure if it's showing in my DPS right now. No, because it's already over. No, it's still going? Yeah, it's still going. So, no, now it's over. Maybe we'll check it later. Basically, it's just adding some more DPS for a while. And this skill, which some people put on right mouse button, is Study Prey. It lowers their resistance. So basically, you improve your damage and decrease their defense. So that if something is still too hard, too tough to kill, you can use it. Especially good if someone else is like kiting a boss and you use those two skills, you can absolutely decimate a boss. This is basically a boss killer character. However, he's very susceptible to damage and he can be easily killed even one shot. Okay, and that's one Viney growth for us. I'll kill this group, maybe throw a bomb, which is not very leveled, so I'm not using it too much. And as you maybe noticed, the poison that I'm using on weapon, this one, has an effect that makes enemies wander around and not attack us. It is very highly leveled. I have +4 to all skills, so all my skills are +4, and some are even maxed. So if they are hit with this poison, they cannot attack us. So if we are fighting one enemy, it's not a boss, we can basically keep him unable to attack us. It's very weird way of defending ourselves. We're defending ourselves by making the enemy just wander around and unable to attack us. And then we slowly kill him. So if there's a group of enemies, we might have problems. Against single enemies, we're completely destroying them. And they all die. That's pretty much it. Okay, so I'll now sit here in the shop and show you the build. So the whole 3 areas took us like 7 minutes or less. It's quite fast. As for the statistics, I'm only using dexterity. It's 546. I'm putting all points into dexterity. It's improving offensive ability, which is criticals, defensive ability, which means we don't get many criticals. Also, we have bonus to poison, bleeding, and piercing damage, which is what this character is all about. As you can see, I have a lot of charms here. Some weapons I want to pass to another characters. At this level, when you play, you usually have problems with inventory space. You have to somehow find a way to deal with it. Either collect some stuff, maybe get rid of other stuff. It's up to you. But it will appear as a problem at some point. And what else? Maybe the gear first. I'm using Death Rattle. It's adding a little bit to damage and poison damage and attack speed. So basically it's DPS. It's improving DPS by 400, damage per second 400, and flat damage by 100. That's something at least. And next one, Ichthyan Aegis, mostly because of the 112% bleeding damage, because it's one of the 3 main sources of damage we are doing, and Vining Growth. Actually, it's normal Vining Growth, but it has additional completed charm bonus, which pretty much makes it twice as good. Almost twice as good. So you are always aiming at Vining Growth with additional health regeneration. If I could find a legendary one like this, but with additional like health regeneration on top of this, this is the best you can get. So this it's very low armor. It's also a problem with this character. I actually have very low armor. I should find another version of this armor, probably the same but from Epic, but then I will probably have problem using it because my strength is quite low. So I'm very glass cannon right now. As you can see, very small amounts of armor and only 229 armor overall, so that I'm dying a lot. I died actually 148 times by now. Helmet is +1 to all skills, then we have +2 to all skills from this, and +1 from cuffs. So basically I have +4 to all skills, and this is the most important part. Also I get a little bit attack speed, I have Spectral Matter, which basically allows me to leech mana from every character with mana, and because I'm shooting pretty much everybody, I usually have just full mana because of that. It's nice to have one pretty much on most characters. Helmet, of course, Epic Viny Growth, more health regeneration, and leg guards add to attack speed and also allow me to use other gear which I otherwise couldn't, because it's -8 reduction to all requirements, a little bit of help, not exactly a kind of gear that I want, but I didn't find anything better. And rings, I have very strange rings. They are actually blue ones, level 34 and 28. They add variety of stuff. Especially this one is important because I'm doing 70% more damage to demons and undead, so I'm fighting two groups of enemies with more efficiency, and because this character also have some skills that allow to hit some enemies for more, like beastmen and beasts and constructs. Basically, I'm doing more damage to beasts, beastmen, constructs, demons, and undead. So 5 groups of enemies get hit for more. Also more energy leech from here, protection from losing energy and I guess life. Yeah, energy leech resistance is pretty much max. It's at 80% even on epic. Then I can life leech or energy leech, and I also convert a little bit of damage to health, which is not really helping because when I get hit I usually die instantly. But if I don't get hit, I'm slowly regenerating health additionally by just hitting enemies, and also just passively regenerating through health regeneration. I have only 100. If I apply one of the skills, then it goes to 137. So this skill is adding 30 to health regeneration. Nice help, and lasts for 8 minutes right now. Also it gives me poison resistance 72, so without it would be -40, and with the buff I have +32. It's helping a little bit against poison. So that will be it about weapons. I also have this bow. It's basically +1 to hunting, +1 to marksmanship. Not really that important because I already have +4 to all skills, but at least it's some slightly more. Maybe it's even +5. I'm not sure if you can have +5 if you didn't reach the cap. We'll see. I don't know, to be honest. Might be +5, but I don't know if I put more than 1 point here, so it's probably +5 in this case. But then when you reach the cap, it's only +4. So if this is like I don't know, 6 out of 6, you can have 10, like 10/6, so +4 on top of what's the cap. But if you don't reach the cap, you can have more than +4. You can actually have +5 in this case. That will be it for gear. My addition. Oh, one more thing. I'm using this trident. Basically, it's +1 to all skills, and it's very high attack speed and DPS. I have now 4000 damage. Sadly, this is +1 only shield. Let's look at the stats. Yeah, it goes higher, I guess. +1, so it's like +6 here. Well, I'm very squishy with this setup. I sometimes can kill enemies faster, but if they're actually able to hit me and do damage to me, which is most enemies on Legendary and a little bit enemies on Epic, I still have to kite and use the bow. So I usually use the bow, but when it's a little bit safer, I can kill faster with this second setup. So spear and shield. Shield is very crappy, but it's +1 to skills. And the bow and the trident are quite good. Now moving to skills, this can be actually a longer part of the video, because this character basically has a lot of synergy between piercing damage, damage itself, criticals, bleeding, and poison. So I will start with Rogue Mastery. I recommend starting with Rogue Mastery and maxing this tree. This is basically Envenom Weapon, more poison damage. This is basically going to kill on hit most enemies. I even can hit and kill one shot a boss on Epic and most enemies. Now this is 70 poison damage, and they are slowed. This is even more poison damage, one more 100% on top of what I already have, plus longer duration, and this is very nice Mandrake. a 28% chance of confusion and 70% chance to fumble attacks. So this is basically making them unable to attack us and hit us quite effectively, because I'm shooting like 2 arrows per second, or maybe 1.5 arrow per second, sometimes with triple shot, and very often the enemies get either fumbled or confused. This is the shrapnel poison gas. Basically this is a grenade. I don't have it maxed, so it can be useful on lower difficulties and kill on hit a whole group of enemies, but on epic and legendary you should probably max it very highly, and I don't think it stacks with the mandrake. I don't think it is. It might stack with other bonuses to damage, bleeding and poison, but it doesn't stack with mandrake as far as I know. So it's not very strong. I'm not using flesh powder at all. Again, fumble attacks and confusion, but I have it in just basic attack and doesn't cost me anything. I don't have to cast push any buttons, nothing like that. Now I don't invest in the trap, but I have 1 point in it just in case. I can summon a trap, and well, if this is max, probably it's strong, but just 1 level, not really. So I don't really like this skill too much, especially if it's not maxed. Disarm traps, very good. As you can see, 180% damage to devices and constructs. So you can kill traps and like golems, and you also take very little damage from them. This is one of the skills that allow you to fight entire group of enemies. So basically all the constructs and all the devices will be just destroying them. This is throwing knife. It actually applies poison, but I only put 1 point in each. It's just too weak at some point to use it. You can use it to apply bleeding and poison from afar, but it's better to just use a bow. This is again bleeding, so again more bleeding and more poison, more piercing damage. There's one on top of another, is just a lot of damage overall. This one is bleeding. 300, of course, it's multiplied by other stuff like this, even more bleeding. This is blade honing. It only works with melee weapons. It doesn't work with a bow, so we can use it with swords or spears. In my case, with a spear. A calculated strike. This is my main attack. It can pass through enemies, do additional damage like every 4 shots, which is like every 2 or 3 seconds. I'm doing a very powerful shot which can do additional damage, and then it has chance of doing even more damage, even more pierce damage, even more bleeding damage. So I can just do very powerful criticals. And this is actually very strong, but it has 12 seconds recharge. It's a one very powerful shot. In some cases it can one hit kill, but not really on legendary, and well, you probably should have either less recharge or put it on right button and sometimes kill with it instantly, like the tougher enemies. But I only put 1 point here. Then hunting mastery, very important skill here. 33% attack speed. This is all about bow and spear, especially bow. Even if you basically if you play rogue, you want from hunting this. You want just that. Even if you don't put any points anywhere else, you just need that just to improve attack speed by 33%. This is very nice to have. This is takedown and eviscerate. I don't have it. I don't even use it because it's a single attack with a spear. I don't use it. I just spam normal attacks with this because this is 20% chance to attack 3 times with spear or a bow. So this activates every 5 attacks, pretty much on average. 20% chance. It actually is being used pretty often, and that's 3 times more damage, especially good with the spear because all 3 attacks will hit the same guy. So it basically can triple our attack. Very nice. Very nice to have. I don't really use this because I have left button on calculated strike and right button on health potion because I'm usually have to heal a lot, so I just spam healing potions whenever I can because this character is really very squishy. A gouge, again, chance to do additional bleeding damage. On top of that, bleeding damage and that bleeding damage, a lot of bleeding damage. And this one is Art of the Hunt. This is, let me check, this is energy reserved. So damage to beastmen and beasts, you can have it on all the time, like here, Art of the Hunt. Additionally, we have chance to avoid projectiles and more movement speed and Reduce entrapment. We don't really get entrapment too much, but if you do, it's also lowered, helping a bit with kiting. You just open it, activate it, and you just play with it all the time. You want to have those two buffs active at all time. They're adding a lot, really. One adds damage, the other adds also damage, more piercing damage, and even more bleeding damage, plus two groups of enemies get hit for more. And what else? This is marksmanship. Well, it has this last point where all the arrows you shoot will explode, like in fragments, but it's very small damage, really. It's smaller damage compared to just calculated shot. I tried it. Maybe if it's max, maybe you have better bow, you can just sort of hit. It's pretty much like bazooka. You hit with usual attack, but it has small area of effect damage, so you can kill groups of enemies easier. But I would rather go for this one, calculated strike and the poison, rather than just flat damage, because it's not enough on higher levels. And on lower levels, they will die from poison anyway. This is called the Hunt. Yeah, this is a buff that you can use. 44 seconds, 3 minutes to recharge. And it's again adding bleeding damage, adding attack speed, even more damage to beastmen and beasts. So if you're fighting a boss who is a beastman or beast, you can use it just before you attack him. Now, if enemy is resistant, you can lower his physical and pierce resistance with this. This has 8 seconds duration, not that much, and 8 seconds recharge. Basically, you have to spam it all the time. I don't really like to use it. You might try to use it on right mouse button, but you're probably too squishy, so then you have to have your other hand on the potion and just keep quaffing potions and applying this to the enemy. This helps with harder enemies, basically. And again, this improves it even more. They get hit more for bleeding. Bleeding. They are less resistant to bleeding, and they get hit for generally more criticals because it lowers their defensive ability. So basically, it makes the enemy die faster. And I'm not using barbed netting or ensnare because all it does is just slows one enemy. It might kill them if the bleeding is hard enough, but I don't see the place for it on any button here, really, and I don't really have points to burn, so I just ignored it. So that will be it about this video. You might want to use this character if you want to just cookie cut through the game. It is squishy, however. It is a glass cannon, but it also has some very high firepower. It was also worth mentioning, it's not really very powerful against the undead. You can poison zombies, but well, not really. You can poison some zombies and you can poison skeletons, but they are quite resistant. If I didn't have this ring, I would be doing no additional damage to undead, and basically bleeding doesn't work on them and poison doesn't work on some of them. So you might have problems with the undead. You also have this whole piercing damage, so you are doing some sort of flat damage against them. But generally, your biggest enemy will be probably the undead, and generally will be very squishy unless you maybe find different gear. This character is rather squishy even on epic. I didn't actually die here, but it's very easy that you do. And on legendary, you just die a lot. So I think that's it about this character. I hope it was helpful a little bit. If you have any questions, post them in the comment section below. And we see you in the next video. See you around.